Okay, welcome back. So now we are going to go ahead and continue our troubleshooting with the WAPCO ABS system. I'll go ahead and select it, then I'll click on the continue button. And you'll notice that we have the same layout as we did with the Caterpillar engine. So we'll begin working from our left to our right. We'll go ahead and select our read code fault codes button. And you can see we have an assortment of fault codes there. We'll just start with the first one right there. It says a wheel sensor ABS, axle number 2, left, valid data, but below normal operational range. We got our information icon there, and then we have our troubleshooting information icon here. So we'll select that option. And once again, you can see that it leads us right into our troubleshooting information. Now, I did notice that some of the troubleshooting information does have this link right here. It says click here to see the document attached to the troubleshooting. Let's go ahead and find out what's going on right there. And it looks like it's giving us information on that failure mode indicator, valid data, but below normal operational range. And then it gives you gives you possible causes for that particular FMI. Okay, so there's some good information there. We'll go ahead and select our button here to go back. And you can see right here we have our troubleshooting information. The FMI is 1, so we can go ahead and start with the step 2 for FMI 1 information. We'll go ahead and select our help and components on the faults. And you can see we have the wheel speed sensor right here, the component, so I'll go ahead and select that. And then it gives you quite a bit of information on the wheel speed sensor. Gives you some pictures, locations, and then some technical data. Okay. And we'll go ahead and select our schematic link. And we are at the 4S4M configuration, so we'll accept that one. And as you can see, our wheel speed sensor is highlighted. These are the pinouts for this particular wheel speed sensor that we're having the fault on. And you can select it, and it'll give you that same information that we just saw earlier. Okay, let's go ahead and select our disconnect button over here. That's not actually what we want to do. We want to go back, so we'll hit our diagnostics menu actually. There we go. Now, go back to where we started. We'll go ahead and hit the accept. We'll look at the system data, and it'll give us the information on the ECU configuration. It's 4S4M. It's a WAPCO. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at monitoring. Select system display, and we'll select page 1. And see, the nice thing about this particular screen right here is that it's giving you point of reference of where it's taking these measurements. And this happens to be on the wheel speed sensor. Obviously the vehicle is not moving, but if it was, you can go on a road test and monitor these. You'd want to have someone driving, and then you as a mechanic would look at these. There's another page over here, so let's go ahead and see what's going on with that second page. And as you can see, it will tell us if any of the indicator lights were coming on, the vehicle speed, and also battery voltage. Looks like our battery voltage is coming down a little bit, so we're going to have to shorten this video just a bit. Live data selection. This is the same for all of them. You can pick just a particular one, or you can select all. I'm going to select all just so you can see the power of the tool. And I'm going to say I want to see the parameter data in gauge format. So I'll select the gauge. And here you can see it's giving me lots of information. It looks like 5 pages and 6 6 points of data for each page. I'll go ahead and select the next page. You can see the type of data that's being displayed and provided there from the ECU. Remember, this data right here, monitoring live data, that means it's live. Okay. And finally, the last page. Okay. Select OK there and get back to our diagnostics menu. We'll select actuate components. And looks like we can actuate some of these components. Let's do one of the valves. We're going to cycle through the modulator test cycle front left valve. So I'm going to select it and give you some point of reference. I'll hit my set mark. Okay, just read the instructions. I'm going to select for 100 milliseconds, and as soon as I select this, you'll hear it begin to actuate. You'll hear the valve begin to actuate. And you can see it's depressurizing, now it's pressure keeping. And it has finished. We're going to select the left rear axle, and we'll do it again. And I'm going to move the camera over just so you can hear the modulation. Select accept. And there's quite a number of selection of tests that you can run. We'll just run through that one. System checks. Let's see what we have there. Looks like we can do a wheel speed test. We'll select that, see what it's like. So it'll give you some information before you run the test. It's always good to read that information. Then it says, okay, so go ahead and select the yes. And so it's actually reading the wheel speed sensors live. So if we were doing a road test, this is the test that you would want to do. This one or the system display test. Okay. So to maintenance, system configuration, and the process. Select accept. Some informational there. Technical release information, we'll hit the accept. Looks like it's processing the request. It's completed. Okay. And we'll take a look at our configuration. And that's for dyno mode. We will never do dyno mode on military vehicles and at the field level unit, so we'll skip that. That's essentially it for the WAPCO ECU.